Hey y'all, so it's been a while since I posted a video about racial trauma, but every now and then I'm reminded why I do the work that I do. And as you can see here, I'm wearing a UCAFT Local 1474 t-shirt because I currently represent the union. I'm the vice president for grievances for UCAFT, and I deal with grievances at every level at all 10 campuses of the UC system. And I just wanted to say that today was the first day that we had our candidate forum. I'm up for re-election for the position. I've held the position for about 2.5 years. I came in the middle of somebody else's term because they were pursuing other interests. So today's forum, it was supposed to be a Q&A session, but Ben Harder, a former VP grievances from UC Irvine, decided that he wanted to let me know why he was not endorsing me. And in doing so, asked me personal questions in front of everybody who was present. Now, I don't know about you all, but a forum is not about telling someone who you're going to endorse and personally attack the other candidate that you decide you're not going to endorse, and purposefully try to discredit one of the candidates in front of everybody present. That is not the purpose of a forum. A purpose of a forum is so that each individual can make a statement about why they want to be elected or re-elected, and then open up the floor for Q&A. So Q&A, I know, can occur in any kind of way, but when someone is using the Q&A to discredit an individual and make everyone else think that this person is not competent, namely this person being me, that I'm just obviously a Mexican woman who's not competent because I canceled a meeting due to a life-threatening situation. So canceling a meeting for a life-threatening situation. So I had to then divulge personal health information since this person was trying to discredit me in front of the forum. Now, mind you, this person, Ben Harder from UC Irvine, when I first came into this position, obviously was very unhappy about me coming into the position. I need to mention that I'm the first woman of color to serve on the UCAFT executive board. And for some people, that seemed to be a problem. The organization is very white. The organization does not have much diversity, especially at the leadership level. The organization has not always shown openness and willingness to want to have further conversations about the lack of diversity within their leadership. And now with these certain attacks against diversity, it's even more of a probability that these conversations will not take place. This person, Ben Harder, he when I first came into this position as the first woman of color of this e-board, there was a situation, everybody knows about it. UAW was on strike, United Auto Workers Union, but specifically the students who are graduate students for the UCs were striking for better living conditions, for better wages, for recognition of all that they contribute to the university. I know what that's about. I was a graduate student. And some of our members were forced to have to take on extra work. And due to that being forced to take on extra work, it was really important for us to demand a bargain to make sure that they could get paid for the extra work they were doing. Now, some lecturers decided they weren't going to do the work, and we also had to address that situation. People who refused to do the work to show not necessarily a sympathy stripe to show solidarity with the movement, while still trying to tailor, whatever they were teaching, and not necessarily be sure whether or not they were going to get paid. So I think it's important for unions to show cross solidarity across unions. This is a very important thing to do. It's actually one of the ways movements grow stronger. So to promote cross union solidarity is not unheard of. Okay, and so somebody who comes in as somebody with a political position such as a VP of grievances, trying to understand the organizing aspect, right, of this particular union strike by the graduate students and how to help, not necessarily by doing their work, or not trying to help by not trying to necessarily help them by doing an illegal maneuver, like doing a sympathy strike, right? Because we have a no strikes clause, but by showing that they understand what the issues are about. Okay, so just because I did that, this particular person, Ben Harder, tried to accuse me of being a socialist when every single person in a union is an organizer. So why me? Why point out me? You all tell me the reason why. Because, well, who am I? What is my name? Edie's Ruiz. Okay? Don't get it twisted. So anyway, because I decide to show support like everybody else was for cross-union solidarity, I get called out. I get called a socialist. I get called in compared to Che Guevara. Really? Okay. And I'm just coming out about this today because that same person, Ben Harder, just trying to discredit me in front of other people. That is not fair. To enter into a candidate forum for your own selfish, racist purpose. And it was. And so, I'm not afraid to confront racism. My track record shows I'm an anti-racist. If I identify racism, especially against me, I'm going to call it out, regardless of my position. If I experience racism and something that's going to threaten my professional, my ability to serve my community in a leadership position that's usually only occupied by white people, not brown people, not black people. If I have that opportunity and somebody tries to get in the way because of my race, I have every right to call it out. That is my freedom of speech. And I am calling it out. You're a racist, Ben Harder.